quick recap of inverse trigonometric derivatives, and in the end of the video I'll also make a list of all the derivatives together. So during exams you can just take a quick peek or take a screenshot or print it for yourself. Okay, let's see the best way to memorize these inverse trig derivatives real quick. And what we're gonna do, if you have the formula sheet in your hand already, you'll see that there's some similar um, derivatives just with a negative sign, and that's what's the best way to memorize about it. As a sine and cosine inverse derivative seems to be similar, just a difference of the negative. And in other videos I can also show you the how do we actually get there, like the proofs of these inverse derivatives. Okay, so derivative of sine inverse x is 1 over square root of 1 minus x square, and derivative of cosine inverse x is exactly what is sine x, but instead there's a minus in front of this. So this is going to be negative of, and now you'll see there is cosecant and secant that are almost identical to each other but with the negative variation in it. So sine and cosine. So sine is positive, cosecant. Sine is, and for cosecant, as we know, sine and cosecant are inverse of each other, trig identities. So this is simply multiplied, same formula, just a little variation, with a little variation within. So now x square here, this, just negative of it. And secant is positive of cosecant. Now let's look at the last two we left with, tan inverse and cot inverse. Tan inverse is simply 1 over 1 plus x square, and cot inverse is now going to be the opposite of this, is negative of 1 over 1 plus x square. I hope this helps to see what I'm trying to convey here, and maybe just take a screenshot. And during the best trick I've known is like during exam sheets, just try to draw a line and then just write some formulas here, so the way you have memorized already. So but if you have a better way to memorize, that's great too, and feel free to share in the comments below, please. Let's put all these formulas together now for our exam or before quiz review. Let's look at trig identities before, because those are pretty handy in order to memorize these formulas. And let's see, we have sine x is equal to 1 over cosecant theta or x, I'll just take as x in this scenario, so make it everything looks like. And then we have derivative of sine x, which is simply cosine x, and then we have derivative of sine inverse of x, which is, we just went over these, 1 over square root of 1 minus x square. Now let's look at cosine x, which is 1 over secant x, right? And then derivative of cosine x. Remember the trick? If there's a sound co, that means it's going to be negative. Negative of sine x, derivative of sine x is cosine x, and derivative of cosine x is negative of sine x. And then derivative of cosine inverse x. Again, right? Derivative of sine x is cosine x, and derivative of cosine x is negative of sine x. Therefore, as we've seen this pattern here, so we'll apply the same. Co means negative of sine x, which is this 1 minus x squared. And then we have tan x. Tan x is 1 over cot x, but also remember that it is also equal to sin x over cosine of x. This is going to be pretty helpful during trig solving trig derivative problems. So it's good to memorize that. And again, so derivative of tan x is secant of square x, and derivative of tan inverse of x is 1 over 1 plus x square. Let's look at now what's left now. We have sine, cosine, tan, and then we have sine cosecant x, which is equal to sine x is 1 over cosecant x, and cosecant x is 1 over sine x. You see that these inverse trig identities goes vice versa, and then these derivatives goes the opposite each other. It's much better to memorize this way. And then derivative of cosecant of x is, again, this is right? Cosecant. So this is going to be negative of cosecant x tan x. I've also made another video about these recap of trig formulas, so the best way to memorize this if you need help over there. Now we are just trying to put all these formulas together for our best recap. So derivative of cosecant inverse of x is negative of, again this is right? So this is going to be negative of 1 over x square root of x square minus 1. Let's go to the next formula real quick. It's secant x. Secant x is 1 over cos x, derivative of secant of x is secant x tan x, and then derivative of secant inverse x is one over x square minus 1. Let's look at our last identity here, cot x. Again, cot x is going to be 1 over tan x cos x over sin x, and derivative of cot x. Derivative of tan x was what? Secant square x, and derivative of cot x is, this is again so it's going to be negative of cosecant square x, and then derivative of cot inverse x is, derivative of tan x is 1 over 1 plus x square. Co means negative, so 1 negative of 1 over 1 plus x square. And here are all these formulas at one place. I really hope this is helpful before a quick exam recap. Just take a screenshot, or if you want me to do it in a PDF format, just let me know in the comments. Thanks so much for watching.